in 2, in 1, sweeping, come, clash, what's down on left in 3, 2, 1, what's straight, push,
Transfuse on right, hand raising. Oh my god, oh my god.
come, circle right, ziggish in 3, 2, 1, ziggish, leave, what is left in 3, 2, 1, what is left in clash, full damage, damage, come,
Pulling.
full damage, cleave, cleave, okay, super.
Transfusing back. I got Joby.
Come on, support.
Breaching.
Left, full damage, behind, full damage, keep the damage, touch your
Pulling.
What is done deep in 3, in 2, in 1, what is deep down?
Well,
full damage, catch the follow the dance, follow the dance, 3, 2, 1, push off.
Breach.
Follow me, just cleave, and fuck them up, just full damage, okay,
Pulling, pull, nightfall down.
Don't die, 3, 2, 1, push the down, the tail, circle the tail, what's down,
Welling.
full damage, immobile, just cleave, follow them, circle them, just cleave, very good job, just keep in 2.
Is Chinese meta dead?
Push, full damage, left, catch it, okay, cleave on us,
Transfusing back. I'm hand raising. I'm still hand raising. Fuck me, bro. Serious.
Full damage,
Fucking only person hand raising.
more damage, full damage.
I have breach still.
3, 2, 1, dodge back.
Pulling.
Cleave this guy, stay close.
One pull. 5 round.
And stay nowhere,
Breach. Nightfall, whatever.
Circle some tree, just cleave. Circle some tree,
Pulling.
Go for the rest, and full damage on feet, full damage, push left, push,
Breaching.
full left, and stay close, monoball,
Nightfall.
just cleave, keep cleaving,
Pulling.
Breach,
Oh, they
breach, come to the breach, just cleave,
Wait, in 5.
nice pull, cleave the pull, push them back in 3,
Wait, ready.
Towards on the right,
Welling.
push them 3, turn, push, straight, you know, support, I got them, I come back to you, just keep the push, keep the push, actually still hit, Diggish sentry, Diggish support the pull, Diggish 3, Diggish now, leave, what is left, 3, 2, 1, what is left, what is full damage, more damage, cleave, and circle, there's one, I need cleanse,
Pulling.
I have all the conditions in the game, by the way, just take right, just cleave, push the left, and 3, turn, push the left,
Nightfall, breach.
and China, we have momentum, trust it.
Transfusing it back. Transfuse. Hand raising.
I know, I got the FGS actually.
What are you doing?
Push the down. Nice damage.
Wait, in 10.
Nice. I'm being DPS padding. Nice. I'm killing this guy. I'm killing this guy. In 3, 2, 1, pull. Nice pull. What is on 3, 2, 1. What is left and push straight. Come to me. Damage. Stay close. Damage. Support. Clash right in 3, 2, 1. Clash right. And push on for.
Breach.
Push. I got feared. Sorry. Just circle right. Damage the down.
Transfuse on right. Holding. You're up. You rally.
Support.
Wait, in 10.
3, 2. Why? I don't get
Pulling.
why
Wait,
they're
in
doing
5.
chain now.
Well's ready for me
Okay,
at least.
go straight. What is right in 3, 2, 1, what is right and push.
Pulling.
Full damage. Wake up, just cleave, I got bumped. Circle right, circle, come peel back, support, Braxton,
Transfusion.
Circle,
Holding.
Push left in 3, 2, 1, trust me, circle left. How do you die? Just cleave, support, circle left, very good banner. Play left, back 3, in 2, in 1, push.
What does everyone think to Scourge? Support Scourge. It's pretty good, isn't it? It's a pretty hard carry. If you get carried as well, it's a puzzle. It's a piece of the puzzle. It's only good if you have the right comp, I guess, in the right party. Otherwise, it really struggles with lack of stability and stun breaks. The cleanse is not enough for self-cleanse as well. Like, you'll get into all sorts of problems if you get overloaded with condies, so you need a secondary support. You 100% need a Firebrand or a Chronomancer and Renegade for extra stability. We played this build, boys, for 2 days, and we changed it a little bit. And I think this is the final version we're going to go with Monk Runes and Minstrel. I think it's the best. You don't need boon duration because you're giving more like heals and more barrier than anything else. You do give bones, but I think the boons, it's fine, boys. You should be like 60% maybe. Close to 60%. Yo, I've got an exotic warhorn, guys. Oh no. Scam. At least I've got the right stats on this time. But yeah, monk runes, minstrel. I've got energy and life on axe and warhorn, mainly because I prefer to have like an aggressive strip on my greatsword to just basically have better strip burst with nightfall and breach. Usually you want to use breach and nightfall together, but you can actually just nightfall on its own if you coordinate it with others, and you can breach. Maybe you don't have the timing for it because it's a cast time of half a second, and this one is 3/4 of a second, so it might be just better for you to just rotate those. Yeah, you have a lot of barrier, a lot of strips on this build. It is pretty good. There's some cleanse. It's very, very nice. It is meta. It's still meta, even though it had nerfs. It's a very chill build. If you're looking to support in a more chill way, yeah, axe, warhorn, greatsword. The accessories is same, minstrel. Now, you've got a choice of relic. You could go with Ceres, or you could go with Mercy, I think. Ceres is more aggressive, and it just makes your Ghastly Breach elite skill, which removes boons, even stronger by converting more boons into conditions. So I feel like it's good. There is a bit of a play around that, though. You've got to basically use it when you're disengaging. So you don't press breach into the enemy unless they're crossing. If the enemy's crossing, then you can stay this direction. But if they're not crossing, you need to put your breach this way and face away from the enemy so that your relic will hit this way. And it always starts in the front and then it moves left. So you could actually face slightly to the right for optimal hits. But you're only going to hit 5 people anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, if the enemy's crossing, you're crossing, you can just breach like this. And then the Ceres relic will start here and go left. And it'll be behind you. Your defensives are your dodges, obviously. You got 2 dodges. If you need another dodge, I've got Energy Sigil on Axe. And your other defenses is Trail, which is your stun break. And every time you give barrier with a trait, you're going to remove 1 condition. So you can Condi Cleanse with barrier, Heal Skills barrier, Serpent Siphons barrier, F5's barrier. You can also give barrier with F3. And you actually have Condi conversion to boons on F2 as well. So it's pretty good. And Shade is giving barrier because of the trait Desert Empowerment. There's not like, you can like burst cleanse, like F1, F2, F3, because there's no internal cooldown on that. So you got F1, F2, F3. That would cleanse 4 Condis and convert 2 of them into boons. So that is pretty bursty. How you start the fight is up to you, but usually I start the fight with Greatsword. Mainly because it's very aggressive at the start. There isn't much pirate shipping going on. We're either pushing with wells, or the enemy's pushing, or we're crossing, or we're going very, very close. Everybody wants to get in close to do damage. And when you well, you want to be on top of the wells. Traits-wise, what are we playing? Right, we're playing the classic Blood Magic, Soul Reaping, Scourge. Why? Because, well, your job is to res people. Transfusion is basically the main skill while you bring Scourge, I would say. Well, one of the main skills, but probably the main skill. It has been nerfed. And it's a 50-second cooldown with Scourge, which is the specialization for Necro. But you press F4, boom. Easy. Wait, see that little skeleton? That's a pretty cool animation, I'm not going to lie. That is pretty cool. Yeah, you don't need to put down anything else. Just press F4. It's instant cast. You want to prioritize Transfusion where it's safe to then hand res. And you're going to proc Well of Blood. And your team will also assist you with hand resing, hopefully. Transfusing back, transfusing back. I'm hand resing. I'm still hand resing. Fuck me. And then if you use Mercy Relic, then you will be able to res. Revive allies faster and with more health. So that's pretty good. If you do Transfusion, a couple of downs, and the enemy's pushing, you just need to give up the hand res and prioritize staying alive. And a Mesmer needs to cover that with Illusion of Life. That's basically what you're going to be doing with this build. Other than that, I'm playing the wrong trait because I was playing Staff earlier. I think Staff is a good play, by the way. Instead of Axe and Warhorn, you're just supporting in a different situation. Like, not organized fights, but like Cloud and randoms versus randoms. I think Staff could be a good play. You could play this in smaller scale. But yeah, use Speed of Shadows in organized fights. It's going to help you a little bit. Give you a bit of swiftness because you do lack mobility on this. You're going to get some life force. Plenty of life force on this build. So you'll always have your shades available to you. Extra vitality. You take Soul Reaping because of the Shroud cooldown trait mostly. Otherwise you could ditch this trait line for something else, but obviously this is just too good. 15%. Sinister Shroud is just too good. You've got Siphon Health whenever you hit a foe. As long as you're not downed, allies near you do not bleed out if they are downed. Gain healing power based on your current health. Very, very good. This is a tanky build, by the way. Very tanky build. You have a lot of health on this build. And if you don't know, Barrier, you can give Barrier and you can get a maximum of 50% of your health as Barrier. So if you see here, if I overlap all the Barrier, I can get like a fuck ton. Like way too much. Like it's crazy. A truckload. You get a little bit of might on this build, a little bit of vigor, protection with F5. Now this is more Boon Rip, by the way. Sandstorm Shroud is really strong. Barrier, pulsing, and then a big burst of barrier on detonation, protection, and then this protection is like pulsing as well. And if you put down F1, your shade, manifest sand shade. Now you press F5. Look, it's happening in both areas, on you and near your shade. So you can double up on that. It's pretty strong. F1, F2. Watch my animation on me. You see, happens on both locations. So number of targets 2. Number of targets 2. Allied targets 5. So you can basically maximize these skills by using F1 in conjunction with your other shade skills. So you have a big shade, which is like 3 charges. Put one there. One there. One there. You got 3. And then you could use F5. You see that? So you could do that. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. I don't tend to do that, but you could do that, but that's kind of crazy. What I tend to do is I use F1 with F2 if I see condies on me, and if we need barrier, then I F1 F3, and then I use F1 F5. So you use 1 ammo charge, so you have 3 maximum counts. I use 1 per skill, 1 per F2, 1 per F3, 1 per F5. I only use this one, the instant cast. They're all instant cast. The instant cast Garish Pillar, which is your transfusion button. It's your F4 skill, as you can see here. Shroud skill 4 heals and partially revives nearby allies. Up to 5 nearby allies are teleported to you upon using Shroud skill 4, so it's fucking really strong. So I just instant cast that with just... I don't press F1 and then F4, I just press F4. But yeah, F4 is like instant, as you can see here. Skeleton Man pops up. But yeah, you've got nullification and absorption on Greatsword. Steal boons when you interrupt. Remove a boon when you strike from a flank. On top of your Nightfall, boons converted to conditions, pulsing. It's very, very strong. You want to use that when the enemy's pushing. If you use it on the clash, you cross, you might make some down states. Pulsing, boon rip might help people do damage, because if you remove protection from enemy, you can do more damage, you can kill the enemies faster. But usually you use it to stop the push. But sometimes people aren't pushing. There's a lot of crossing going on right now, and you don't get big value from it. But if you put this on down states and they go to hand res, it's huge. If you can actually pull that off. Like I said, Breach is the same thing. It's like a bigger version of Nightfall with Ceres Relic. And you'll see here, it's gonna strip a lot of shit. Put a lot of trash condies on enemies. Trail is nerfed. It's also boon rip, stun break, stability, and fun fact: if allies run through that, they're gonna get the boons as well. It's a 40-second cooldown, so if the fights are easy, you can use it for boon rip, but usually use that as a stun break. Use it as a oh shit, I need to get the hell out of here. Serpent Siphon is your barrier, Aegis regen. It can also boon rip. So can your heal skill. It can boon rip. But you might not use those in a situation where you hit enemies. You might need it for barrier before the push. Because by the time you're on top of the enemies, if you're trying to cast a skill like this, you might die. You might prioritize something else. 240 radius, 240 radius. Check the skills out. You can see the skills and hover over them. Unblockable wells. You always want to drop that when they come. Calls for wells. And you can follow up with a pull, or you can pull at the start and then well bomb. But you want to pull basically the tail, or when they're stationary, into your bomb, or you want to pull them and disrupt them. So like If the enemy's running away, you can pull them. It's really, really good. And it's a chill. So they're pulled and chilled off of tag. It's really strong. 3 is like life force mainly. You only use that for life force. Axe, single target focus DPS. It's okay. You're not going to do big damage on this. You're mainly bringing it for the Unholy Feast. And then on top of your Nightfall, you can switch weapons and then Unholy Feast, it'll remove a boon. 600 radius. And you don't need a target for that. You don't need to click on a player. So that's good. Unblockable Fear, 600 range. Interrupt reses, very, very strong. And Life Force, Locust Swarm. Mainly for the little heals that you get. You're going to use that in range of the enemy. It's 180 radius. Healing radius is 360. You're going to do tiny little bit of damage. You're going to get swiftness. And you're going to do little heal ticks and little damage ticks. Well, we're getting up to another 250 life on top of 1700 there. The healing food that we're using is Mint Garnish, Healing Power, Outgoing Healing, Concentration. And then I'm using the oils. Those oils alone is worth 15% outgoing healing. Like I said, there's no point stacking boon duration when you're mostly doing heals and giving barrier. And barrier will scale with healing power. But yeah, monk runes instead of water. I think that's a better play. Healing infusions. Just max out healing infusions. Get as much as possible. Do not waste transfusion, boys. Okay, do not misclick it. It's bad if you fuck that up. Sometimes you just want to hand res and just hold reses. Like that's your. What else are you gonna do? You may as well. And this if you don't have transfusion up because you used it already. 50-second cooldown. This is a 30-second cooldown. You might have this up and you can support with resing. I mean, there's not much else you can do on this class. If you're stripped, you've given barrier, you're condi cleansing. And remember, you can press these instantly as well. The only cast time is on your F1, right? So you could put one down and then hand res and then press your shades while resing because they're instant cast. Or you don't even need to put F1 down and you can just hand res and press these at the same time. Obviously not transfusion, but you can press this without an F1 shade. But you just, if you don't have an F1 shade down, it will just put it around you. Barrier lasts kind of a decent amount of time on this build. So if you can see here, if we do this and this, 5 seconds. So try and remember that, okay? Because you don't have to cast it when you're on top of the enemy. You can cast it just a little bit before, and then you'll still have that barrier up. So make sure you don't pop it too early because you don't want it to run out. One other thing that I need to mention, this is a big one. If, like I said earlier, when you transfuse and you're hand resing and enemies pushing, you might want to get the fuck out. That time then is for the Illusion of Life from a Chronomancer or from a Mesmer. When they Illusion of Life, they get a debuff. Your allies get a debuff. You're under an effect for 15 seconds. They need to kill something. Otherwise, if they don't, they will go down again. They will go down. Now, the Illusion of Life debuff, when it procs on the 15th second, it will remove your health. You can negate that with a few skills in the game. One of them is Barrier, and you've got a lot of it. So if you see Illusion of Life buff on your allies, you can click on your allies or whatever. You can then see it, and it will start flashing, and it means it's blinking, or you can hover over it on their bar, and you'll see it blinking. Get ready to pop Barrier, and you can give Barrier with loads of skills. So just do that, and they won't go down. But usually they'll rally. There's a lot of deaths and a lot of people getting killed. So it starts flashing when there's like 5 seconds remaining. Barrier lasts 5 seconds. So you don't want to pop it straight away when it's flashing. But after it flashes like 2 times, then just go for it. But remember, Barrier could be removed before the Illusion of Life kills them or drops them again. So it's better to give Barrier probably in the last like couple of seconds. And there is a cast time of your skills. Apart from this one, F5 is like, it's almost instant. But yeah, you probably want to just, like F3 is really, really strong. Heal skill. But yeah, it got nerfed. There's no more Alak on this build, but it's still very, very strong. Very chill support build if you want to check it out and give it a try. You can carry pretty hard. You can transfuse your commander. Also, what's really cool about this is sometimes you're on terrain, right? And you can transfuse people up top to a ledge or something. Like someone died over here, I can like transfuse them onto this. It's always the way, like people see balance patch and they go, wow, it's dead now. It isn't dead, guys. Like, it's not dead. The thing with this is there's nothing else that can do what it does. You can see how much value this brings. You know, if you think about reses right now, Yeah, you're gonna banner people. What class can replace this? It's just too good, guys. It needs a nerf, surely. But yeah, go check out Scourge. Go carry your team.